From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your evening update.
You want to go where to buy a new refrigerator? Steve's A to Z Appliance in Cottonwood? In Cottonwood? Just a 10-minute drive. And they'll save us money. New and used, honest, reliable, factory-trained repair service and parts, and they'll save us money. And dispose of this thing? We gotta make the short drive to Steve's A to Z. Thanks, hon.
Steve's A to Z Appliance, front and main streets in Cottonwood. Drive a little, save a lot.
Well, it's nice to finally be back, right? I was out of internet for about a day and a half. And of course, as you know, this is an internet-based service, so boy, it was difficult. But we were able to make it through, and I want to thank you all for your support for this. And now that we're back up and running, let's get right into it. Boy, you know, my hair's a little messy. I could probably have but I was just kind of frazzled to just try to get everything going here. But take a look at the Reading camera here. Of course, the sunny skies. And if this is what hot looks like, then that's what hot looks like. But let's take a look at the actual temperatures we did see today for your Friday afternoon. There it is. I think I forecasted 111 for Reading. So yeah, not bad, right? At least for the forecast. And 112 degrees for Reading and Red Bluff, but much cooler as you head southward, but still hot. 104 for Chico, 108 in Willows. And in the higher elevations, as expected, mainly in the upper 90s to a little over 100 degrees for some of those warmer spots. All right, so here's the deal. The warming trend starts, actually not starting Saturday. The warming trend will start to end. So we're going to actually start to see temperatures begin to drop by Saturday. That's what I meant to write there, but much cooler as we go into next week. And I mean that much cooler because we're actually going to drop below 100 degrees in the valley and even drop below normal in the valley. So it looks like it's going to be much more pleasant going through next week. But that being said, we've still got to get through this heat wave. We still have a heat advisory until 11 p.m. on Saturday, once again with highs between 105 and 111 degrees. So just be aware of that. It's still going to be very hot for your Saturday, despite the fact that we are going to start to see those temperatures drop. But after a high of 112 for Reading today, for tomorrow, it's going to drop down to 110. So yeah, that's still very hot. But there you can see by Sunday, that's the transition day, 105 degrees. But look at these temperatures for next week. Upper 90s? Man, that's phenomenal, right? I mean, we could hit 100 degrees for Reading, I think, for, say, Tuesday, Wednesday. But we're talking upper 90s through next week. And then we'll see an uptick as we go into that next weekend. But not that big of an uptick. So we'll certainly take these temperatures without a doubt. Now, here's the fire potential. We're seeing it increase a little bit. Now, the winds have picked up in some areas, not major, but they've picked up a little bit here. And with the hot and dry conditions, we've just got to be extra careful. So we went from the low risk in the valley to even to the west here to a moderate risk. And again, that's because it's hot and dry. And on top of that, we've got a little bit of a breeze out there. So let's talk about those winds. Now the dew points are these colors here. So when you start getting into oranges and reds, that's indicating very dry conditions. So we'll take you into your Saturday morning. And you can see, as we typically see, the winds tend to die down. But already, even in the morning, we're seeing those winds pick up, especially for the north end of the valley. We go into Saturday afternoon, the winds are picking up a bit, 15, 20 miles per hour. Not advisory criteria, but certainly enough for us to just heed caution, right? Because you can see here the dew points are dropping a bit, but notice the dew points not as bad for the north end of the valley, kind of in that moderate range here. All right, now we take you into a Saturday night and into Sunday morning. Once again, the winds die down, but as we go into Sunday afternoon, the winds may pick up again in very dry conditions, especially off to the east. So once again, the winds are beginning to pick up, but certainly not too terrible. Let's just put it that way. All right, here's what we have here for tonight. Temperatures are going to drop down in the valley, only reaching, getting down to the upper 60s to low 70s, but at least there's some relief there. But 110 degrees for Reading on Saturday, 109 for Red Bluff, and Chico about 105 degrees, about the same as what we saw today for Chico. And for the mountains, most likely staying below 100 degrees for Siskiyou and Modoc counties. But I think Susanville, Paradise, you could get up to about 100 degrees. But we're also going to notice the clouds. Look at Saturday. We actually have some monsoon moisture moving in, but it's not enough moisture for us to see any thunderstorms. I don't anticipate any thunderstorms in the mountains with this system coming in Saturday and even Sunday. We'll call it partly to mostly cloudy skies, depending on where you are, right? So these clouds are going to be the case here for the weekend. But then as we go into Monday, the clouds move out, the monsoon moisture moves down to the south and east, but we have some storm systems coming in from the north and west. And I wanted to show you what I'm talking about. So you see how the heat is moving to the east. That's going to allow us to see the temperatures begin to drop. Now, one of the reasons for that too is this cooler air. You see how kind of a piece of energy breaks off and it starts to kind of ride to our north right here. That's going to keep and push that heat down to our south and east. We still have this cooler air to our north and west, which is why our temperatures are going to drop below normal for this time of the year. It's going to be much more pleasant by the time we get into next week. We've just got to get through these next few days, all right? So here you can see here for tonight, upper 60s to low 70s in the valley, and in the low to mid 50s here for many of us in the higher elevations. So for your Saturday, yeah, another hot day. 110 degrees for Redding, 109 for Red Bluff, 105 in Chico, and up into Siskiyou County, mid to upper 90s. Some of us may touch 100. I think places like, say, Mount Shasta, maybe Alturas, but especially Susanville, up to about 100 degrees here for your Saturday. All right, so let's take a look at that 7-day forecast. And you can see from Mount Shasta, look at these temperatures dropping down even to the upper 80s. Look at that by next Thursday, Friday. We're down to 87 and 88 degrees. Very nice. Up in Alturas, it's about 89 to 90 degrees. And for Susanville, about 100 degrees for your Saturday, dropping down to the upper 90s by Sunday. And then those temperatures should start to drop going into next week. How about the valley? Well, yeah, there it is. But look at this. This is great, right? 110 degrees for Saturday. That's not so great. And neither is the 105 on Sunday. But this right here is what I'm talking about being great. Because we're down below 100 degrees for Redding. And of course, that'll be the case for Chico and Red Bluff as well. Chico, you'll drop down to 95 degrees by Wednesday. And for Thursday, Friday, we're talking low 90s in Chico. 93 degrees, as a matter of fact, with sunny skies.